No, I thought RugbySmart was good. Thought it was a valuable experience, especially for a reasonably green coach such as myself, just to cover the basics of things. And I found touching on the concussion and things like that pretty valuable, because it's starting to become a pretty regulated area of the game and something you don't want to be mucking around with. So that stuff was definitely valuable. I think maybe front row wise, you could maybe put in a wee bit more in the module in the front row. Just personally, as we had a few injuries and struggle for numbers, I know that was kind of similar across a few Colts teams. So it's tough to get guys putting their hand up in those positions, and maybe just a bit extra to help coach guys up to fill in the spots.
Yeah, I think the importance of warming up, warming down, in terms of injury prevention, and just keep that big focus on tackling, because that's where most injuries occur that I've seen on a rugby field. So,
RugbySmart was quite good actually. We had quite a few people in there, and there was a very good dialogue between each other whilst watching the videos and whatnot. So there are a few things that were definitely picked up in there, and that was noted. So for me, it's again learning that those micro skills as a coach. I would like to see more of how people react around referees. As in, not everything goes our way, but you still have to respect that man. There's too much chitter-chatter back to them, and I think that if we can really nail that down, we don't want to be like soccer. So if we can nail that down to being very respectful and disciplined about it, I think that'll provide better outcomes on the field and on the sideline.
Oh, like I said, the first time you're in there, you don't know what you're doing in there. Everyone's in the same box though. But then you've got different levels. Coaches have been doing it for long, and they all help. It's good because you get help from ones who've been doing it. They've got ideas and things like that.
Maybe after a few weeks into the season, having a follow-up session. Okay, so you've had a go at coaching. What is it you're doing or not doing, and what else could you do? So maybe a follow-up session, or making one available on a needs basis could be fun.
It'd be nice to do another one during the year, just a bit of a refresher. And then, because there's a lot of new coaches that have just get into it, and then they do RugbySmart, and then halfway through the year they've probably got a lot of questions where, how can we do this? And there's maybe another forum of a sit down and just refresh what we've discussed, and you can always get other ideas from other coaches that are going through the same thing.
You say your time short, but other, during the season, other initiatives, potentially coaching initiatives, there's some out there, but for me, rugby's social, so even to have more social gatherings amongst coaches, if there was, resources put into getting coaches together, because for me that's pretty important, just to share another rugby game, get them to more super games or whatever, have a beer and enjoy each other's company, share ideas, and that would be nice, I think.
Yeah, I found RugbySmart really beneficial to the way I was going to coach at the year. Definitely the warm-up ideas they had, and around coaching, and even the injury prevention and management kind of stuff. So it tied it all together and brought it into a good, easy way to learn in a short time frame. So yeah, it was really beneficial. Maybe more, we brought in a lot of practical stuff into AS, but even having a mock team that could demonstrate and run around at the same time, set up a ruck or a scrum, that kind of stuff. I think that'd be more beneficial than acting it out in the coachings we had, so you could actually stand back and watch it instead of participating as well, but it worked both ways.
Good. It keeps you up to date with the new laws, the changes and what we need to look out for in the season, and also how to manage injuries as well if need be. They do push for managers to be there, but it should be compulsory for all coaches and managers to attend and provide them with. So there's been a big push about concussion injuries. There are other injuries that come with rugby that should also be addressed as well.
The RugbySmart, that website, yeah, that helped a whole heap when I was going through primary schools and teaching little coaching sessions. Yeah, that was really good.
When I first did it, it was for 3 years. So you did it once, and then you didn't have to do it for 3 years. Now you kind of have to do it every year. And it's, I guess, if you're going to do it every year, why not do a first aid course? Because that's what it's all about, really, isn't it? ACC. In comparison to when I first did RugbySmart, it was a more intense course. So we did like an hour theory, and then we went out and we actually did some coaching drills. We don't do that now. Well, I haven't in the last 2 or 3 RugbySmart courses I've done. So it just seems to me that it's just a first aid course, pretty much, which yeah, I'd prefer to do anyway.
And so I've coached for 10 years, so I've been through RugbySmart for probably those 10 years. So I have heard of a lot of it before, but you still learn new things. I think the DVDs that come out with, for example, for me being an ex-back, Mike Cron going through scrummaging sessions and actually showing you warm-up techniques and different drills that you can actually do and implement are hugely beneficial. The course that we did this year, by giving you the concussion cards and a few resources that you can actually hand out to players, I found really good.
RugbySmart is an outstanding initiative from New Zealand Rugby Union, and then how the PUs, the provincial unions, package it. Our PU here, I know with Andrew Spraggan, who kind of runs it, they take it seriously, and I think there's a lot of value in just little things to making the game safer for our boys and girls, and also improving your own coaching. But for safety, I think, I don't know if any other codes in New Zealand do it. I went to a recent PE PD, and they ran I think it was a general just in New Zealand, it was an ACC funded initiative, and it lacked that specificity that the rugby union have put in together for the RugbySmart based on rugby statistics and data, and therefore injury reduction. So for me, it's just invaluable.
So I did the RugbySmart course here at the Dunedin Stadium, and I really enjoyed it. I did find it very useful, but it was maybe a little bit more targeted towards a little bit of a higher grade than under 5s. I still think it was useful and interactive to meet other coaches, discuss practice plans and game sessions and all that kind of stuff. I think it was a good balance. I mean, like we say, under 5 isn't completely skill-based, so there's not a whole lot that would need to know. I think I would have just loved to go and sit in somewhere where they just gave me everything I need to know for under 5s or year 1s and year 2s, and I would have been taking it all in. Anything a little bit above that I kind of wasn't as interested in because it didn't quite target what I needed to know. But I mean, it was still interesting to learn, but maybe something a little bit more focused on my age group would have been really, I would have taken that in for sure, yeah.
It's a necessary evil. Jonesy does it. He does it quite well, actually. He does a real good program. With the RugbySmart, their role playing they make you do. They really got to get rid of that. Having Jonesy make you lie on the ground and grind on top of you for quite a bit, it's just, oh, sorry Jonesy, but that's what you do, mate. It's not right.